This is the Sovboi Smart Projector E30Max, a compact Google TV projector that promises 1800 ANSI brightness, auto lens cover, autofocus with 4P 4D keystone, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2 and a 360-degree Bluetooth remote. My first few minutes told me a lot. Power on, the lens cap slides open on its own, the image snaps into focus in a couple of seconds, and the trapezoid edges square up without me touching a thing. I signed in with my Google account, grabbed Netflix and Disney Plus from the Play Store, and was streaming faster than it takes most TVs to run their first update. No sideloading, no weird workarounds. That alone set the tone for how simple this is to live with. From my experience, brightness is the make-or-break detail for these portable projectors. Sovboi calls it 1800 ANSI, and in a dark room it genuinely looks punchy at 100 to 120 inches. Colors are vibrant out of the box, and fine text from a laptop feed stays crisp. In my living room with lights on, the picture is watchable for casual YouTube or sports highlights, but it softens in daylight like most projectors in this price range. Kill the lights, and it pops again. If you're new to the category, 4K support means it accepts a 4K signal and cleanly downsamples to native 1080p. You're not getting true 4K micro mirror hardware here, but you are getting a sharp full HD image that looks great with movies and TV. Key features that actually made a difference for me were the autofocus and the auto keystone. I move gear around a lot, and this held focus and geometry even after I nudged the table. The system preserves aspect ratio so circles stay circles, which sounds basic, but some budget projectors warp when you get aggressive with keystone. There's also a digital zoom that lets me shrink the image down to about 75% without sliding the unit, handy in tight rooms. Just remember, digital zoom throws away pixels, so I only use it when I can't physically adjust placement. I care a lot about software because that's where cheaper projectors stumble. The built-in Google TV here is the real thing. The Play Store had the apps I wanted, Netflix runs without hacks, Prime Video and YouTube are smooth, and voice control via the mic button on the remote works better than I expected. Say play cartoons or open Netflix, and it just goes. It even supports a ton of languages, which is great if your household is bilingual. The recommendation rows actually learned what I watch after a couple evenings. In my opinion, this is how a smart projector should feel. Sign in, pick a profile, stream. The remote is Bluetooth, so I never had to point it at the projector. Range is strong. I walked to the hallway and it still responded. CEC control let me nudge volume on a connected soundbar over HDMI, so I wasn't juggling remotes. Wi-Fi 6 was also solid. I streamed 4K YouTube and 1080p Netflix on a busy apartment network with no stutters. Marketing talks about sub-3 milliseconds casting, and while I didn't measure exact numbers, latency was low enough for casual AirPlay-style mirroring and quick photo shares. For wireless screen mirroring of protected apps, you'll want to use the native apps instead. Casting DRM services from a phone often hits content restrictions on any brand. With the app installed on Google TV, it's a non-issue. Audio on the unit itself is clear and gets loud enough for a bedroom or small living room. It doesn't replace a soundbar. Turn it past about 80% and you'll hear the enclosure resonate a bit. I paired a compact Bluetooth speaker and it elevated the whole experience. Bluetooth 5.2 kept sync close enough that I wasn't distracted by lip delay in movies. If you're sensitive to audio lag, go wired from the headphone jack or plug a soundbar into HDMI where you can. Fan noise is a soft whoosh, audible in quiet scenes but easy to tune out once a movie starts. Build quality is straightforward and clean. It's about the size of a shoebox, around 4 pounds, and easy to move room to room. The retractable lens cover is more than a gimmick. It keeps dust and little fingerprints off the glass, and I haven't seen a single dust blob on screen after moving it around for a week. The optical engine is sealed, which is reassuring for long-term brightness and avoiding those annoying dark spots that cheaper units can develop. One nitpick: the power cable could be longer if you planned a ceiling mount or shelf mount far from an outlet. I used an extension cord and moved on. On the image side, contrast looks best in a dark environment. Black levels are respectable for this class, and HDR titles look punchier than standard dynamic range, though you'll still want lights down to keep shadow detail from washing out. I kept the color temperature near standard and bumped saturation just a notch for animation. If you plan to stretch beyond 120 inches, you can push it, but ambient light control becomes more important, and you'll notice the limits of 1080p at very large sizes. I tested an HDMI connection from a PS5 and a Switch. Input lag feels fine for casual play, platformers, and split-screen racing with friends. It's not tuned for competitive shooters where every millisecond matters. That's typical for a smart projector. For movie nights, backyard screenings, and sports, it's exactly what I hoped for. There's a small quality of life detail I loved. It remembers focus and keystone settings after a power cycle, so I didn't need to redo setup every evening. The software updated itself in the background the second night, and nothing broke, which is all I ask from an update. The support information is easy to find, and the multi-year warranty with lifetime tech support adds some peace of mind. I didn't need help, but it's comforting to see the contact listed clearly. It's perfect for apartments, dorms, guest rooms, and anyone who wants a simple big screen experience without adding a streaming stick. If you're planning backyard movies, it has the brightness for after sunset and the convenience of fast autofocus when you don't want to fiddle with setup in the dark. From my experience, pairing it with a small Bluetooth speaker and using a matte screen or a neutral wall gives you the best return for almost no effort. I'd recommend this for first-time projector buyers who want Google TV built in, renters who move gear between rooms, families that rely on voice search, and anyone who values quick setup over endless tweaking. If you need daylight visible brightness or ultra-low latency gaming, you'll want to look higher in price. If you already own a high-end streaming box and just need a bare-bones display, there are cheaper dumb projectors, but you'll lose the convenience that makes this one easy to live with. In conclusion, the Sovboi Smart Projector E30Max nails the basics that matter day to day. A bright and sharp 1080p image at night, true Google TV with painless app support, autofocus and auto keystone that actually work, and stable Wi-Fi 6 streaming. It's not trying to replace a calibrated home theater rig, but it turns movie night into a 2-minute setup with results that made me forget about specs and just watch. That's the highest compliment I can give a product like this. You can view detailed information about the Sovboi Smart Projector in the comments section. Thank you for watching.